is calling to me. Oh, I'm coming back home to Ireland.
Céad míle fáilte, 100,000 welcomes to Irish Paint Magic. Today we're going to the west of Ireland, to Galway City. And there we have one of the finest and magnificent buildings in all of Ireland, the Galway Cathedral. And today we're going to paint the scenes around the Galway Cathedral with the corb and the foliage. So I want you to come up here. I'm David Willis, and come with me. I have here an 18 by 24 canvas, 18 by 24 canvas. And what I've done here, I've covered all this with black gesso. And down here, where there's a bank and where there's trees and foliage, in here I have some contact paper. You know me by now. And I have inside there a lot of work done. And down here I have a man, he'll be fishing on the corb later on. And anyway, that's what I've got to do. But this canvas is too dry and it won't work. The black gesso is too dry. So what I've got to do is get some liquid clear, and I'll cover all the black area with the liquid clear. Now, it doesn't matter if you go up into the white or not. But what does matter is the fact that you put it on sparingly. Do not, and I repeat, do not put on too much. If you do, it will only slip on you and make your life miserable. And we don't want you to be miserable for the next 30 minutes. I want you to be happy. And I want you to paint if you can, because this type of painting is for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're not able to draw. That doesn't matter. You can paint. And I know that doctors differ and patients die, but some art teachers will tell you that you must be able to draw to paint. I beg to differ. And I say, the best to look to those people that are gifted. But what about the rest of us that maybe are not good at drawing but would love to paint? And this is for you. This is for you. For anybody that want to do a nice painting without having to spend a half of your life or all your life trying to draw. This is for you. Now, what I've done now, this is all nice and slip and slide, and I can paint all that, mix the paint on the canvas, etc. Up here, what I'm going to do is cover that. There's no need to clean the brush. And if you're at home today and can't get out, if you're not feeling well, stay with me now for the next 25 minutes. And please God, I'll cheer you up. And if you haven't been out for a while, come on out with me now to Galway. Come to Galway for the day. Beautiful city. I love going to Galway. I have many, many friends in Galway. And I just want to take this opportunity to say hello to all those my friends in Galway. Now, straight away into black, maybe a little bit of blue, black and blue, and up into the corner, right up into the corner and across the top. And across the top. And down the canvas you come. Crisscross strokes, down the canvas. More black, just to tone down the colour. And let all those little holes peep through there on your canvas. Right down the canvas until you meet the black. And then ease up on it. And very gently go across all that. Very gently. And that's fine. Down here, the same again, black and blue. Tone down that blue. We don't want to go to Florida. No, we want to go to the west of Ireland. Now, and if you have any areas in Ireland and you're watching this program that you would like to see, I'd like us to paint, why don't you send us a nice photograph or a card of your area, and perhaps we can facilitate you. And if we can, we will. Now, it's very important here that you pay attention, because what I need to do is pull from the outside, out here, in, like this, like so. Pull it from the outside in. But keep the strokes horizontal. And here, this way, from the outside in, but not inside out. Just pull it in, so you can have a sheen, a bit of a sheen coming up there in the water. And again, just that way. And then leave well alone and just give it all, let it all soften there like that. And if you want to get more of a sheen, just get the brush into the bit of white there. And you can pull that sheen in or out, whatever way you want it. And then leave it. Leave it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix up a colour, probably dark green, bit of green, bit of black, a dark green. I can stick a bit of Van Dyke brown into it. And all I really want is an undercoat for the foliage. Just an undercoat. So I have black, green and Van Dyke brown all together mixed to make a really dark colour. Seem to have too many brushes, dirty, and clean it. And again, wash the other brush and shake it into the bucket and clean it. And that's fine. Now, with that dark green, I just go in with the 2-inch brush and I'll paint all that in here. Right across there. And again, to create the illusion, just tap of trees, just tap. And as you come out, let the trees droop over. Let them hang over where they'll reach out for the light. Let them reach out for the light. Talk to the trees. That was a great song. I talk to the trees, but they don't listen to me. But if you practice your Cork accent, they'll listen to you. They'll listen to you. Now, they do listen to me. So talk to the trees and ask them to droop out for you. And twist that little brush. When you come out, twist it. Twist the brush. Let it droop out so that it gives you the illusion that the branches are hanging over. Right along there. And then let it go at that. Up here is a reflection, here, of what's above it. It's like a mirror. Think of a mirror when you're talking about reflections. Down here, just pull straight down. Pull straight down. And then leave well alone. So you have basically your undercoat now. And here I'm just going to just darken that as well. And I leave well alone for now. Now what I'm going to do here is put some highlights on these trees. You can do it, I'll do it with the 1-inch brush this time, just for a difference. Now you can leave the sky if you want to as it is, but just to show you that you can put cloud formations in, I'm going to get the 1-inch brush, pull out that paint, titanium white, and tap into it. Tap into it. And then come up to the canvas and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and tap. And then you can move all along and create the illusion of a cloud drifting in over Galway Cathedral. And just tap into it and let it form. Don't go up to the top of the cloud at all. Do not go up to the top of the cloud, only just tap in and keep all those lovely shadow areas. And every time you come off, wipe the old brush and take the surplus. Then repeat the same thing again, pull out more paint and tap in and go in there and just get another layer and stay in there and move again. So that you have light and dark all together on the canvas. Now this wouldn't work without the liquid white. And that's why I said to you, use the liquid white. And anybody now, as I said, anybody surely can tap into the canvas the way I'm doing it. And if you can do this, you can paint. And again, one more now and I'm going to leave a go at that. And I'm going to stop now because I've got to control myself. It's not easy. And again, very gently with the 2-inch brush, I'm going to go across all that and say, please, Mr. Sky, please sit down. Please sit down. Lovely sky over Galway today. Lovely sky. And stop it. And there we go. And leave it go at that now. So I'm going to go back in now with the 1-inch brush into cad yellow. bit of yellow ochre, even a little bit of red into it to warm it up, and push into the paint. Push into it, get a ridge of paint, and come up here, and right over the top of that, introduce some foliage. And again, just repeat that several times down, but do not kill the dark areas. Do not kill the dark areas. And again, all the way down here, you can bring that beautiful color down. It's yellow ochre and cad yellow. And just tap in. And then again, as you're coming down, lighten up on the stroke. Very little. Very little. Whisper, talk to it. And wipe the brush. And here, again, just go across the whole canvas. A little bit of color there. Little bit, and let it run right down in there. And just talk to it. Thank you, Mr. Trees. Thank you, Mr. Foliage. Just sit down. And over here, again, a little bit more. The sun would catch this side a little bit better. And again, let it go right down, right down. All tapping. And if you can tap, you can paint. Get that ridge of paint right up in the brush and push into it. And if it's in there, it's right on the top of your brush as well. So come right up here and right over that area there. Just tap down into it and let the sun shine on the tree for you. And let it go back in very dense in here. Very little light hitting in here, very dense. It's just on the outside of the tree that the light will catch. Just on the outside. And here, right down there, another layer of trees and foliage all along, and let it go right back and hang down, and very little down here. I'm going to a bigger brush just to tone that down a bit, a little bit, just to fill it off there. And again, just down there over the old bank. Right down and right down. Maybe a little bit here, maybe. But then stop it.
My island, oh, I'm coming home.
And I want the cameras to come in close to me, please. And I'm going to go in here under this with my contact paper. And I'm going to coax all this off. And I say, please, Mr. Contact Paper, come off for me. So I'm going to coax away and then very slowly pull it off, the whole lot, and you have the magnificent Galway Cathedral. Okay, look what I've done here. I got the basic shape of the cathedral, the basic shape. And what I've done, I filled it in with a very dark grey, really dark grey, the whole lot of it. And except for the roof, because there's a copper roof on this building, and copper goes green after a period of time. But anyway, what I done then was get 3 values of that same colour, that dark grey. I added white, but not as much, and I gave this is what I done. I gave the illusion that there was stones, big stone on the building, by just working up on it. And then when I had that done, I added white again to what I had left. So I had 3 values of white. And I picked out the highlights then around the windows with the third, with that, which would be the lightest of the grey. There was 3 shades of grey. And that's how that was done. And the same with the green for the imitate, the copper on the roof. And again, I done the same there, put on the dark green, and here again I highlighted where the sun would just catch part of it. And that's basically all I've done to do that. Now what I've got to do is introduce a little bit of the liquid clear. So that's covered with liquid clear. Now all I need to do is get a little bit of the dark green. Again, the same dark green as we had up here, and tap into this. Just around, and again, just tap in with the brush to give the illusion that there's foliage in here. Right along, and even along here. And just tap again, and along there. Right along, zoom. And here again, tap into this one. And right along there. Right there. And I'm just going to darken what's left of that area down here. Just darken that area. There's a walkway actually along over there and some foliage. Wash my brush and dry it. And now I'll introduce some of the highlight colours again here, just to put some highlights on some of this here. And here I go. I'm just using the filbert brush this time now. And again I'm tapping and I'm leaving it go right down into nothing, into the dark. And again, down here, just tap in. The brush will do the business for you. The brush will give you the shape. It's a filbert brush and it's rounded at the top. Now this is some building, and I'd recommend anybody would go into would go and visit it. If you're passing the west of Ireland, go and visit the Galway Cathedral. It was officially dedicated in the year 1965. The people of Galway can really be proud of this wonderful. It was designed by John J. Robinson, famous architect, and it was built from local limestone and marble. From the, we all know of Galway, Connemara marble, etc. And it can accommodate up to 2,000 people. So that's some building. That's what I call a real building. And here we go, we're tapping right down again here, down in, just changing the flavour there a little bit. And here we have a nice lot of flowers and shrubs down in there. They're right down in there. And then I'm fighting with myself to stop that now. The next time I go to Galway, the people of Galway will be running after me. They'll be nearly as bad as the Paul in the studio running after me when I run over time. So we don't want that. I want to be friends with the people of Galway. So that's fine. Here at this side, I want to create the illusion of a bank. And I'm getting Van Dyke Brown here. I think I should just pull a little bit of white in here before I go any further. Just in there. Just to tease you a little bit. Just in there. And that will shove, because the water runs down in the back in there. And there's a kind of an island or whatever juts out there. Okay, so I'll go into Van Dyke Brown here, all along. Now you can see why I went in there. That pushes that back. And pull that down there. There's a lot of growth down in there. And what I'll do is I'll highlight that with a little bit of white, titanium white, and a bit of dark sienna. Not properly mixed. Leave it a bit marbly. And I just barely touch it. Just touch it. Don't overdo it. And down. And let that soften down in there. Right down into the bank there. And that's fine. Over here, there's I just put a bit of yellow ochre on its own. Right along there. Right along. And it seems to be a walkway over there. People walk along over there. Just a little bit of Van Dyke Brown here, all along this. A little bit. Right along there. People walk along over there. And what I'm going to do is get just a 1-inch brush. And I'm going to pull that down, coax it down into the painting. And I'm going to ask it to please come down for me. Come right down. And I go across it. Very, very gentle to make reflections down onto the water. Just nice, soft reflections onto the water. And again, I get my knife and I go in under the bank there and cut in and get a water line. Right along, you get a water line in under the bank by just cutting into it. And don't go to any great detail about it. Go away from it and stop fighting. What I need to do here is get some more little bits of detail and getting a bit of white spirit on the knife. And I want a dark colour. I'm going to use that green and a small bit of black. I just want a little bit of tin paint. Not a whole lot. Just a little bit. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to touch that. And there's a few little bits and pieces there that need to be checked. And another one there. And here. Another one there. And that's more or less it. Just get that fell off. And maybe one here. Okay, that's fine. Just a little bit of detail, that's all. And here, just talking to that there. So that's fine. Now what I want to do is bring that reflection down here. So I'm just going to get the yellow and the green and just pull that down there. Pull it down because it's a reflection of what's above it. And very, very gently go across it and ask it to sit down and form a reflection in the water. Please sit down. And again, with the knife, go back in under the bank here and cut in under it. And create yourself the water line all along there. And that'll shove that in underneath. Just cut into it. Give her the illusion of a ripple underwater. And that's it. Now, I want you to come up here a minute. You know me again by now with my contact paper. And in here, I'm going in under this and going to coax that up and pull. And I have a man fishing in the corb. So I get a little bit of crimson there and a bit of brown and get him right in there under that. Right in under it. Quite dark, and let him come down that way. And he'll come down that way, and this one will come down this way. And just here at it's a very famous place here for salmon. It's called the Salmon Weir. And it's very, very famous for tourists watching the salmon. They come up here just by the cathedral and off the bridge, and everybody creates some excitement at times to see all those beautiful salmon below waiting for higher water so they can move up to the spawning grounds or up into the corb itself. Now back here, it's a very famous place behind the Salmon Weir. Down here, another water line to divide that, right in under the boat. And you can stagger these a little bit. And down here, maybe a little bit more of the dark color. Thinned out, and you can catch him there and make an oar down into the water here. But he will be working. I need some dark paint now, black, green, and Van Dyke brown, and I'm going to push this up. Push it up. There's grass all along here, and I don't want to be here all day painting grass. I just want to shove it up and leave it. So I get my 2-inch brush with a bit of yellow, had yellow and green, and here I go, just put in a few highlights, talk to the grass, practice your Cork accent and say, please Mr. Grass, even though we're in Galway, please sit down for all those lovely Galway people. And then again, just leave it at that. And it gives you a good idea how it can be done, how you can use the mediums. And until we meet again, God Amila Mahagut, Shlan Lat. Try this one, and may God bless you all, my friends.
I'm coming home, though I roam, sure my heart never left her. O'er the dark rolling sea, she is calling to me. Oh, I'm coming back home to Ireland.